We labeled O across from the angle that they gave us, and then across from 90, we have to label the H, and then your leftover side is the A for adjacent. You have to be able to label OHA. Which one is not labeled, OH or A? Yeah, O. O has nothing there, right? Scratch it out. Now you tell me, look at so, ka, toa. Which one has AH in the fraction? Ka, right? C for cosine. Go ahead and write cosine. The abbreviation is COS. Cosine, what's the angle that we started at? 37, right? So you write cosine, then you write 37 in parentheses equals, and you got to put that fraction, A over H, right? Now, what is A? 15. H is X. 15 over X. Now, we talked about this on Friday, last class. When X is on the bottom, do y'all remember, what do? There's a little trick I taught you. No one? Let me remind you here. Okay, this was our notes from last class. Look right here. When X is on the bottom, we take the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation, and you can just switch a root. Okay, that's the shortcut. I'm saving you having to do 2 steps by putting them into one shortcut. Okay, so let me say that again, looking at the warm-up here. When X is on the bottom, take the left side of the equation and the denominator, X, and switch them. Okay, did you hear that? Okay, so X is now going to the left, 15 stays on top, and the cosine 37 is now on the bottom. You just did 2 steps in one. It's not just magic, it's mathematic. Mathematical magic. Mathemagic. Just kidding. It's a 2-step in one. Now, can you type 15 divided by cosine 37 in your calculator? Now, by the way, when you type it in at the top right, it should say DEG for degree mode. You don't have to check it every time in the settings if you just look right here. If it says rad, that ain't rad. That is bad. It makes me sad. And I'm a dad. You tell me. Do my jokes sound cool? It's a dad joke, so no. All right. All right. Now, let's do the math here. 15 divided by cosine 37. 15 divided trig cosine 37. There's a trig button. That's what I was saying. There you are. All right. Hit enter. And we get 18.78. 2. The 2 makes the 8 stay the same. Doesn't round up. 18.78 inches. Everybody go to your notes. You should have your notes. Okay, if you have a folder, get your notes out, please. It'll give you like 10 seconds. Get your notes out. Go. 10 seconds, and they're over. Here we go. We are on your notes on the back side. Everybody look at the back side of your notes. Okay? Looks like this. We did the front side. If you were here Friday, we did the front side. On the back, it looks like this at the top. Let's go ahead and fill in this box. Cosine, if you think of so, ka, toa, cosine is what over what? A over H, right? So look, here's so, ka, toa. A over H, yes? All right. Y'all are smart and able to do this. Can y'all label O, H, and A on every triangle on this page? There's 4 of them. Start at the angle, label the opposite, label the hypotenuse, and the adjacent. I'm going to walk around. This should take less than a minute. Label OHA. Starting now. Go. I'll do the first one with you. Some of y'all are just lost. So the first angle right here. O is opposite. Across from 90 is your H, and A is your leftover. If one of them is blank, you can scratch it out already. You know what I'm saying? So everybody label OHA, all the triangles. Do it now. Do it now. Where's O? All of them. Where's yours? Where's Necesito un papel de notas de Friday. Here, all four of these. You can get the front there. All right. Checking everyone's OHA. Oh yeah, we're in. Mr. Bill. You got those funny? Yeah, we're finishing them up, so you can do something. All right, label OHA. Angle, go across, go down. 90, go across, go H. Third one's A. Label OHA on all of these. All of them. Sir. Did you get that? Good, good. All right. You gotta do it. All of them. You gotta do it here. Start at the angle, go across, go left. Cross 190. That was H. Yeah. Cross 165 though. Oh, there. And the last one's A. All right. Everyone's done OHA on all the triangles. All the triangles. Hold on a second. What is this? Right here is what we're doing. Label OHA.
Yes, sir.
Wait. Where's O? Across from the angle for an O. Across from the 90 for an H. And A is your leftover. Okay? It should be like 10 seconds. But all right. Okay. All right. Here we go. So y'all labeled OHA already. Which one can I cross out? Which has nothing on it? Okay. O is blank, right in the back. If you're looking at your phone, look up here. Scratch out O. Okay. A and H are left over. So which one is AH? Is it so, ka, or toa? Which one has AH? Ka, right? Like some of y'all's haircuts. Ka, ka. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What? All right. So ka, C is for cosine. Write that down. Cosine, C-O-S. Cos is not how you say it. It's cosine. What's the angle that we started at? 55, right? It's in the triangle. Cosine 55 equals what over what? What's A over H? A is X. H is 25.5, so I'm going to put X over 25.5. Now, you might remember from last class, Friday, this is not like the warm-up because X is on top. It's being divided. What's the opposite of dividing? This is when we multiply to get X by itself. So times the denominator, 25.5, cancels it out. And on the left side, times 25.5. Can you type in your calculator cosine 55 times 25.5? Let's try it. Trig cosine 55 and the parentheses times 25.5. Do you see how it's typed? Are you able to type it? You sure? Because you're not doing it. And I'm wondering if you can really do it. You might need a calculator to like type it in, first of all. You want to get one? All right, so you should get one. We get 14.626. That third 6 after the decimal makes the 2 round up to 14.63. What are my units of measure? Centimeters. Cool. All right, the next one you should have already labeled OHA. Let's see if you did it right. Across from the angle is O. Across from the 90 is H. A is left over. Which one can I cross out? It has nothing on it. O is blank. So I'm thinking AH is like Ka is cosine, COS. What's the angle? What's the angle? 65. Yes, very good, very good. Cosine 65 equals what over what? Now be careful here. Some people always want to put X on top, but it's supposed to be A over H. What's A? What do you see at A? 21 over what? Over X. This is like our warm-up. So everyone, what's the little trick when X is on the bottom? Don't remember? What did I do with the X and the tree? Switch spots, right? That's 2 steps in one. So here we go. The X and the cosine 65 can switch spots because X is on the bottom. So now it's going to be X equals 21 stays on top. Cosine 65 goes to the bottom. Can you type that in your calculator and get the answer? I hope so. 21 divided by cosine 65. 21 divided by trig cosine 65. I get 49.690. The 0 makes the 9 stay the same. I can write that down with the units of measure, miles. Very long. Now, I've shown you the warm-up and 2 examples. Do you see how this is done? Okay. It's depending on how much you just paid attention. So you can do it, though, I bet. Now, the last 2, I'm not going to do it slow. I'll just give it to you. I'll just show you what they are if you want to write them down. If you don't want to write them down, just know the last 2 are tangent because there's no H. Okay? When you label these last 2, I want you to notice H gets crossed out. So here's the last 2. Okay, this is the bottom 2 examples. You can write them down if you want. You can try them on your own, check your answers, it's up to you. But I'm going to pass out the assignment. So on the bottom 2, you labeled OHA, you crossed out H, because H is blank. That means it's TOA, tangent. So if you set it up right, the one on the left, you're going to have to multiply because X is on the top. The one on the right, you're going to have to switcheroo because X is on the bottom. So I'll leave these on the board, but you're going to work on this assignment. Okay? Hey, real quick, look at your assignment, okay? I'll help you. Number 1, you're just labeling OHA. Easy. You just had some practice on that, right? Number 1, start at the arc, label OHA. Number 2, you just plug them in the calculator. They're very easy. As long as you're in degrees mode, no big deal. Now, number 3, people are going to struggle with, I'm sure. 3 is like the top half of the notes from Friday. You got to just give me a fraction, okay? But then number 4 to the back is like what we just did. Okay? If you're stuck at any point of this assignment, let me know. I can guide you, I promise. Okay? I'm going to let y'all work.